Guys, this is so exciting. We got to catch up with legendary Guns N' Roses bass player Duff McKagan at Aftershock Festival, where he told us all about his upcoming solo album that has so many incredible guests, including Iggy Pop and Jerry Cantrell. Let's go backstage and see what Duff had to tell us. We are here at Aftershock in Sacramento, backstage with the one and only Duff McKagan. Sir, how are we?
Nice to have you guys in.
We were just chatting about Power Trip Festival, first year of the festival, and we were talking about your show.
We toured the hinterlands too. You know, we play like places where there's nobody side stage. Yeah. It's just us. We're barreling through the States or Europe or whatever. But then, you know, like for me, it gets better when my wife comes out. Then there's some like a little bit of fanciness on the side of the stage. She smells good. Yeah. She's happy to be there. She's stoked. And that's like, you know, makes me feel good. We're empty nesting now, so our lives, love our daughters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
They come when they come over
there.
When they come out too, it's great. But so my wife, so she said, for Power Trip, Jessica's, Lars they've become friends. She's gonna come side stage with me because, and maybe Lars. And I said, okay. And then the day of the show, they said, can we put some more seats up there because the guys from Metallica want to watch from the side? I'm like, well, I mean, I know all the guys. Sure, and you know, but now it's time for the show, and I'm getting in my thing, and my wife's not even around when I do all this stuff. I get dressed and kind of, you know, pin back the ears, and here we go. And I come up around the side of the stage, started It's So Easy, and it's just all the Metallica guys and their wives, right next to where I go on, and they were rocking, and I go way back with those guys, and Lars and I have reconnected in the last few years, which is really, really nice. He and I, you know, back in the day, I can't remember half the things we did because it was of that era.
We're hearing rumors of a new solo album coming out.
October 20th.
I love all your solo work, Loaded, Walking Papers. A couple years back, we did the Golden God Awards together, and it was so cool. Duff brought out Steve Jones from the Pistols and Corey Taylor, and they did Electric Eye on stage. And I saw a Sex Pistols doing a Judas Priest song, and I was very confused. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Cool. What can fans expect? I know you have a lot of guests on the album too.
Well, yeah, it's really, I did a record in 2019, it came out, called Tenderness. Yep. And this is the first of my kind of, I was very good friends, and for a long time, Mark Lanigan, who just passed.
Screaming Trees.
Yeah, he was a friend of mine as well. I love that guy.
Rest in peace, I know. And his type of music, solo records, really influenced me, but I just didn't know how I would do, his voice is this huge thing, but the way he phrases and hanging out with him since like '96 and being friends and listening to it, playing on his records, doing stuff like that, and I'm like, I want to do this at some point. What's my entry point into this music? I wrote a song called Wasted Heart in 2008, which was my first like, oh, this is acoustic, it's a singer-songwriter type of song, or whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. I
had a batch of songs, we were touring, we were taking a break, and got Shooter Jennings and his band. Shooter produced the record, the first record, Tenderness.
Yep.
And that we toured. I toured with Shooter's band. With Shooter's band, you're going to get pedal steel, the fiddle. It's going to sound like that. And his band is so good. And I loved going into that territory. Totally like, let's go. I play big rock like all the time. In the best big rock band you could ever want to be in.
That's for sure.
I'm not gonna my time off. I'm not gonna go do like a rock band.
Yeah.
So let's spread our wings. So now I have my own studio in Seattle. You know, I had recorded like 5 or 6 songs. Just moved in. Then I had to go down to LA to start rehearsing for a Guns big tour, and COVID hit. So I rolled back to Seattle with my family, and I'm like, I have my studio. You know, for this 2 weeks we have off, I'll go finish these 5, 6 songs I did, and then 2 weeks turned to 4, and by the end of that I had 60 songs. So this first Lighthouse is my first foray into getting all of these songs out. Guests on the record Lighthouse.
Oh yes.
So I did this record really mainly Martin Fabier, myself, my producer, and me, because it was COVID. You couldn't have anybody in.
Yeah.
Jerry Cantrell played on this song, Just Don't Know, at the end. It's his last song about, he heard the song. He and I play on each other's stuff.
Yeah, you've been friends forever.
Yeah. And he came in, you want me to put a solo on this? You want me to sing? And he did his beautiful Slash and me and Abe Laborio, drummer from Paul McCartney, did a song in 1996 that I finally got masters back. And it's called Hope. The song's called Hope, and the lyric really ties in the subject matter of this record, Lighthouse. So we pulled it. I re-sang it so my voice sounds like it is now, but it's all that original recording in 1996 at my house in the Hollywood Hills.
And Iggy's on the record too.
Iggy. So I got to make an Iggy record.
Yeah, which is great seeing. Yeah, absolutely.
So amazing.
My God, obviously. Yeah. Iggy heard the song Lighthouse. He loved the lyric, and he said, you want me to do a spoken word thing? You can use it for whatever you want. So he basically read the lines, and it's like poetry, and then we put music behind it. So at the end of the record, there's a reprise of the first song called Lighthouse with Iggy just kind of talking.
I grew up in Vancouver, so I'd always cross the border to go and see all the shows because they would never come to Vancouver. They would only go to Seattle. And I would love to know, I know you mentioned you moved to LA in '84.
Yes.
Was it? So in the early 80s, what were some of the venues that you were watching bands at, and who were you going to see in the 80s?
Well, funny you come to Seattle a lot, because I would go to Vancouver a lot. Yeah,
see, I'm like opposite. I'm like nobody.
Yes.
That's why I saw the Professionals. They could play. They couldn't get into the States because there was a couple felonies in the band.
Yeah, our
Steve
buddy
Jones.
Steve Jones, yeah.
So actually, my band, the Fastbacks, we opened for them up in Vancouver at the Commodore Ballroom.
Commodore is a great venue.
Like then with Cookie and Jones. Oh my God.
Yes, I was terrified.
So
I was
cool.
first time like because we're playing on the bill, so I'm backstage and I was like, so there's Steve Jones and Paul Cook. What the?
Sex Pistols and your life.
But we played a club up there all the time called the Smiling Buddha. It's on Hastings.
And stay away from Hastings, folks. It's not very nice up there anymore.
Nice. It wasn't nice.
It wasn't nice back then.
No.
And it isn't now.
No, you kind of fight your way in, fight your way out. But there was this thriving punk scene. DOA is one of my favorite all-time bands. They had the Modern Nets and the Pointing Sticks and the Subhumans, and it was this thriving scene that international bands would come to.
Anyone who really ended up blowing up that you got to see in Seattle that maybe played like a really small venue, and then you were like,
besides your friends.
holy shit, like you said you played Commodore, that's a smaller venue in Vancouver now, so it would be cool to be like, yeah, I saw Duff McKagan play at Commodore in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
And now you're in the biggest arenas ever.
I mean, I saw, it's too many to mention. I saw the Police and the Specials in front of, 80 to 100 people.